Hi, intuitive viewers. How have the last 24 hours been for you? Because for me, they've been pretty rough. I don't know if you felt that energy drain last night, but I almost came on. No, I didn't almost come on. I fought with myself because I thought I could come on and say what I'm feeling, and I felt like it would probably be correct, but I didn't want to put it out there. I didn't want to put anything out there that could make the Supreme Court do what they did. And I could just feel they were going to do damage, basically, and disappoint all of us. Disappoint 70 to 80% of us, right? But instead I meditated and I asked my guides, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Which is what I do, because in a way I'm always grateful for the channel, and I'm immensely grateful for this community, which I am just so proud of and so grateful for every single day. But I also feel a responsibility, because I want to make sure I'm giving you information, but I don't want to ever freak you guys out or make you worry or make you add to your, because they were already on edge and stuff. So it's always kind of a question for my guides, is what am I going on for, right? What is my intention behind going on? Is it to be right about something because I knew it would be right? Or is it to do what I came on here to do from the beginning, which was to help people feel empowered and help people feel unafraid? And that would do neither. So I decided against it, but I did sit and pray and meditate and asked my guides to please lift this just awful feeling I was having. It just felt like, it felt like a death. It felt like a death. And then I asked, okay, what now? Where am I guided today? Because I felt like, okay, the awful thing happened. We're still kicking. We're still here. Very disappointed, but here. What do we do now? And what do I tell these amazing people who are so lovingly concerned about their country and the world? So they had me go back and listen to myself. And they were like, I was guided to go back and listen to my predictions for the beginning of the year. And you can do that too if you want to. But what was so interesting was, as I was listening, other things came in. And one of the things that came in, well, first of all, the things that I heard that I felt like, was I saw 2 or 3 justices being either added or replaced. So there you go. And I said that it would be for health or scandal, one of those 2 things. So, and we're heading towards a scandal, right? It could absolutely be health, and I don't wish anyone ill, but it could definitely be scandal, because we're heading that way. The other thing that made me perk up, which I have mentioned since then, because it keeps kind of coming up, was David and Goliath. This was going to be a year when the people rise up. And I even talked about some kind of uprising in Russia happening, but anyways, but you can go back and listen to it, because I think there's more coming and to do with Russia, but we'll kind of focus on what's happening here today. But I will be reading on that. Was this idea of David and Goliath, that the the little guy was going to topple the big guy. The underdog was going to topple the big dog. The people were going to topple governments and institutions and things that are not serving them any longer. And the other thing that piqued my my spidey senses, as my husband would say, that made me go, oh, that's I think that's something they want me to listen to, and I would get chills, every time they wanted me to listen to this, was that there were going to be a lot of realizations this year, and realizations about things that we haven't really wanted to face and haven't really wanted to say out loud. And I think one of those realizations, and again, like, things came to me as I listened to me. It was all about me, like Linda says, or, enough about me. What do you think of me? But I was listening to myself, and messages were coming in, and it was like, see, this is going to happen. See, this is going to happen. And with the David and Goliath thing and the realizations, it was also, realizations about things we haven't wanted to, as I said, say out loud, admit to ourselves. And one of the biggest Goliaths that I can think of in our country is the Supreme Court, right? We've always put it on a pedestal. And I think that it may take time for us to come to the realization that it just isn't serving us in this form anymore. So what I was getting was that there were going to be reforms and changes made, and that there would be justices either dismissed, replaced, or added or something to kind of make this right. But it's painful. I think it's, for the United States especially, I think it's very hard and very painful to admit stuff. They've gotten it. Well, we've kind of talked about before, when I've asked my guides, like, where are we in, like, like in our, if we were looking at like a person, where in our growth are we as a country? And they're saying like young adolescent, like tweens. We're in our tween phase. So we're kind of in this growing up and having to be more realistic and get out of the kid phase of, aren't we great and aren't we awesome and isn't everything great? And then noticing that, there's more to life than just us. There's more, and there's stuff that we need to fix and work on and grow up about. And I think that can be really hard for a young country. And so I think that I feel like they're kind of like, the time is in your hands, and which is a hard thing to hear when it's clear that individuals are going to suffer under some of the decisions that they've made. And I'm going to talk about that in a second too. But that it's like time's of the essence. We can like do these things really, really fast. And I do think there will be some urgency about some of these things. But I also feel like realizations are painful, and they're going to be painful for us. And I feel like, but they will come about, and the time is up to us. The time is kind of in our hands, as they said. As far as individuals that are already being hurt by Roe v. Wade, that will be hurt by the new decisions about, take your pick, the keeping minorities basically out of college, and good colleges, and, and making the LGBTQ community feel even more persecuted against, second-class citizens, even more of that stuff, as if they didn't already feel that enough. And especially if they're in the place like the South, or some place where they just don't feel welcome any of the time. What I got loud and clear was that now this is where as individuals, and I want to cry, but I'm not going to, we as individuals and individual light workers can make a difference. Because when we see somebody with a rainbow flag, or when we see somebody who they're holding, a husband is holding their hands with their husband, or a family that has the same sex couple as the parents, we can reach out and just give them a, I'm with you. I'm with you. I just want you to know that. I just want you to know I'm with you. And they may think you're weird, but my guides made it so loud and clear that as individuals, this is where we can really step up and make a difference. And it won't cost us anything. And we don't have to, get into the muck and mire of Twitter or do anything like that. That we really can support the people around us and the people that we come across, and just let them know they are not alone. Particularly if you are in those red states where you see the lone rainbow flag on your street, let them know you're with them, that you got their back and you're with them. I just think that, my guides made it loud and clear that these are some ways that we can really, I'm getting chills even as I talk about it, that we can stand up for our brothers and sisters who are unfairly being discriminated against, put down, made to feel bad. And this is talking about women as well. It really is a time to band together as just kind, decent people and say, this is the society we want, and we reject that. And I got a very interesting message about this, because they didn't say go to war with it, resist it, right? What you resist persists. We've talked about that before. But realizing and seeing, again, those realizations, right? This is where we are. We have a very disappointing part of our country that, for whatever reason, are in such pain themselves, they want to inflict pain on others, is the way I like to think about it, to keep my compassion intact. And this is where we are, right? So we're not in that resistance mode. We're in a surrender mode, which surrendering does not mean giving up. Surrendering means looking at the situation and realizing where you are, and being in a state of acceptance. Not that you want it to be this way, but seeing it for what it is. And I'm hearing that even as I say it, seeing where we are, seeing it for what it is. And then we can move forward and we can begin to make progress. And people in the past, I'm getting this right now too, in the past, they're saying, look to the past, look to the past. So I feel like people in the past have shown us how this is done. So look at our own history and look at the history of other countries. They've shown us how this is done, how we can push for and make change, and at the same time, keep our compassion and our kindness intact. And our goodness. People are good. I mean, they really, really are. And most of the country today is very, very disappointed in this court. So we're all in good company, and we're all together on this, and we are absolutely, positively the majority. Are we the voting majority? We'll find out. We'll find out. But my guides say yes, we are. They've also told me that this next election is going to be something like we've never seen before. And it gave me a feeling of real hope and real, and a desire to do more. Because I felt like I want to be a part of that. Whatever this is, I want to be a part of it. I want to be in on it. I gave to a couple of causes today. that I thought were good causes. I encourage you to do the same. I gave to Sheldon Whitehouse because I'm like, he's the one guy that is just going for the Supreme Court. I'm like, you have my money, go and do your thing. And I gave to vote.org because I think voting and making sure people can vote is going to be very important. And it is very difficult to have to keep in this mode of getting up and moving forward and getting up and moving forward when you keep feeling like you get pushed down or pushed back. But I got a very brief but kind of a fast visit from John McCain today. It's kind of weird. And I was reading something. I was reading just like a post, and it happened to mention the Three Amigos. I know that Nicole Wallace was talking about the Three Amigos. If you don't remember who the Three Amigos were, it was Lindsey Graham, John McCain, and Joe Lieberman. And I was reading a post and it mentioned the Three Amigos, and I heard very loudly and very clearly, not my amigo. And I knew that it didn't mean that's, not that, it's not my friend. It's as if I don't recognize this person. That's what it said. And so I had him here. So I thought, and I recognized him because I've talked to him before, and I recognized him right away. And I just said, what do you think? And he said that he felt the sadness in most of the country today, and that we're going to get through this, that we're going to get through this, and we will see more and more and more equality and rights back, and that we have to march forward. We have to march forward. And it wasn't it was weird because it was very unmilitary. It wasn't like a military order or like this really go forward. I could feel in his countenance that he was completely empathizing with how exhausted we were, how tired we were, what we had been through. We survived a pandemic, everybody. So, we've been through that with these people. And I could just feel the compassion and the understanding, but the honesty of, you have to keep marching forward, but you'll succeed. And so, and I could feel it. And in that moment, something lifted. And these people, I really feel like these people that, because he was a flawed human being, for sure. There were things that, he did, I did not at all agree with. And he was kind of a warmonger and just different things. But I get the feeling on the other side, when we have people that leave us, that were presidents and were in the Senate and were, judges, and that were involved in our history, that they've been involved in the history for a long time. And they love this place. They love the earth, but they love this country. And not in a patriotic kind of phony way, but in a, I've been here since the beginning and I'm seeing it through. It's kind of just that, almost like a parent. And that's, I've gotten that, I've had the ability to channel a few historical figures, and that always comes through. It's like I've been with this since the beginning, and I will be with this through to the end. And not only that, but I understand. So I wanted to just pop on and give you those messages. And if you need a couple days to be mad and discouraged, take a couple days to be mad and discouraged. I certainly did. And then call out to your guides, and call out to your angels, and have them help lift you up and tell you what you can do to stay in this marching forward and moving into what's going to be a new way of being in this country. It feels like it's going to be very, very different. And these bigger, kind of more institutional changes may take a little longer for us for the reasons that I said, but they're definitely in it's happening. And it doesn't always happen in a nice, lovely way, especially in a democracy. Democracies can be, that was the other thing that he said, was democracies can be very, very messy. And that it can look very, very messy. So I'm glad I said that, because I forgot the other thing he said. He had also said that yeah, democracies can be very, very messy, and this looks very, very messy. But that in the end, we usually get it right, and we work towards what's better for everybody. And we may take some steps backwards, but we also will take big strides forward. So keep your chin up. Take some time with self-care. And on the 4th of July, celebrate the things that you love. Maybe there are things you're disappointed in this year. But if you're American, I know I'm talking to people from Australia and all over the place, but if you are in the United States, celebrate the things you love. Even if it's just, I love ice cream here, and I love McDonald's. That's what I mean. I love Disney or whatever. Those things that tend to be, very American. But whatever you can celebrate, do, and just know that, put out there that every year we're going to have something more to celebrate, and that's just the way it's going to go. We're just moving that way. We're going to march forward, and I'm asking my guys if that's it. I think that's it. But I'm going to do another look at kind of maybe 5 or 10 years ahead. I feel like we need to keep checking those energies, because I feel like they change. And okay, so I'm just going to add this in. They're talking about this kind of fascistic risings, and we're seeing it we've seen it a little bit in, we've seen these things in Russia, we're seeing them in all over the place, but they're talking about that it's going to be put back in its place. It will be put back in its place. I do feel like there's some kind of law things coming in, lawsuits coming in, kind of these things that are kind of going to push it back, but also put in place some programs for future generations is what I'm getting. So I feel like they're going to try to root it out from trying to help younger people understand this a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, just not talking about it in this country doesn't mean it can't happen here, right? In fact, it's the opposite. Usually we need to talk about this stuff. So there's something coming about that as well. So I don't know why that popped in, but it did. So I want to let you guys know that, and I want you guys to have a great 4th and a great weekend. And I'll be on probably Sunday or Monday. And then I also wanted to make you aware that we're doing a retreat at the end of October, 28th to the 31st. I would love to give you guys a hug in person. I feel like it's been a long time coming. I got to meet some of you guys at Linda's retreat. It was awesome, and I would love to see you guys there. So we do have some spots left, and it is going to be in Bryce Canyon, Utah, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. And I will be there. Debbie will be there from Freebird Spirit. Andrea will be there from Lilac Lantern. Kevin from Kevin the Healing Medium, and Linda. Linda's going to be there for a very special, an opener. She's going to be our opening. So it's very exciting, and I think it couldn't come at a better time, to be honest. So it'll be right before the election. So I think we'll all be glad to be there and be putting some of that good energy out there into the world. And but I hope this helps in some little bitty way, and know that I am with you. I'm thinking of you guys. I am sending good vibes to you, and a lot of love, and put that out into the universe, because we need it. We need it right now. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.